Hey there, all you YouTube followers out there. Get ready for Netflix and chill.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to BDGTV. I am, as always, Pete, joined by my co-host.
Jean-Claude Rush.
Now, we're trying to get some more subscribers and views, so make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, whatever social media you are using. And let us know what you like.
Yeah, let us know.
Alright, so today we are talking, of course, Netflix series that we have been enjoying lately. Um, where are you going to start?
Okay, so we're going to start off with Marco Polo.
I've heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it personally yet.
I just finished watching the second season, so watched the first and second season, so just recently. I really love this show. The first season is jam-packed of violence and sex and nudity and Mongolians, and it makes me want to just fly to Mongolia and ride across the desert. It's like become a Mongolian prince. And the second season is also really good. 'Cause there's a lot of suspense to it. Wasn't expecting when I first started watching Marco Polo to like it so much, but yeah, I really enjoy it. If you like sex, if you like nudity, if you like Mongolians, if you like violence, you're gonna like this show.
Now, what's the basic premise of it?
Okay, the basic premise of it is Marco Polo, which is a historical character. He goes off in a bunch of adventures, and he winds up in like Mongolia. I forgot what century it is, but he ends up in Mongolia, like ancient history. And the king of Mongolia, he's trying to take over the world and stuff. So I think he's like the grandson of Genghis Khan.
Okay.
And the first season, they're trying to take over China, so they're going over the wall and stuff like that, and getting over, taking over one of the capitals in China and stuff. And that's really, first season is really awesome. The second season actually steps away from Marco Polo a little bit. Like, he's still in it. The show is called Marco Polo, but but you kind of go off into a lot of the side characters, which is actually really cool. A lot of the side characters are a little more interesting than Marco Polo. He's an okay character, but I feel that a bunch of his other characters are a little bit better. And also there's a little tiny like mini movie from one of the characters, 100 Eyes. Go watch that if you just want to get like a sense of that world. Just go watch that little mini. I think it's like an hour or something like that, and you just get the backstory of one of the side characters, which is a Chinese monk that he ends up becoming blinded, but he's like the best kung fu fighter in the world, and he's just kicking everybody's ass, and he's blind. So go watch that, and then if you really enjoy that, you're gonna just see a lot more of it in the whole Marco Polo series. But yeah, it just kind of goes off in that, and then the second series, the second part of the series, you still are. They're already kind of taking over China and stuff like that, and you kind of start seeing all these like side characters and the stuff that's going on, and he's kind of like a civil war is happening between the Mongolians and stuff like that. So go check that out. I don't want to go too much into it because there's going to be a lot of spoilers, but is you'll like it, and let us know if you enjoyed it.
One show I've been enjoying is called Between. It's actually a Canadian-made drama, and it's interesting because it airs in Canada, and then the next day they post the episode on Netflix.
Okay.
So like you don't get to binge all at once when it's airing.
Okay.
But both season 1 and 2 are both fully complete, so they're both on there. Season 3 hasn't started yet. So it's kind of interesting in that respect. But the story of Between is that there's this town called Pretty Lake in Canada. They don't tell you it's Canada but it's Canada.
Okay.
You hear some boots and some stories
Okay.
mixed in there. But it's interesting because you're in this town, Pretty Lake, and then suddenly everybody 22 years and older just starts dropping dead from this virus. And they can't figure out what's causing the people to die. They just drop dead, and then they end up like throwing up like bile and blood, but there's like no physical way of telling how they actually died.
Okay.
So eventually, the government places the town under quarantine, and then no adults left. Like the oldest people are 21.
Okay.
So it kind of becomes pandemonium, like Lord of the Flies, kids running around, like setting up their own gangs and their own little mini governments, and some people are trying to take control. Then you have like the rich kid, you have the redneck, punk kid, and you've got all these different aspects going at each other. Its first episode is great. I will say this: the second and the third are a tiny bit slow, but then it gets going again, and the rest of season 1 and season 2 are great.
Okay.
It's only 6 episodes in a season too, so it's a quick thing you can binge watch in a day or two. I really enjoy it.
How many seasons are there?
2 so far. The second season just ended within the past few weeks. I really like it.
Is it a comedy or is it a
No, straight drama?
Straight drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, of course, there's some comedic elements thrown in there, but there's some really effed up stuff in this show too. Like,
yeah.
Because it's just kids left to their own devices. So
like kind of Lord of the Flies kind of feel to it.
You have like 10-year-olds driving cars around town and stuff like that, and then people with access to guns and looting and all this stuff.
Okay.
It's really crazy. It's interesting because I will say this: every single person in this show, it's possible for them to die. Nobody is safe on this show.
Mm.
So, like, you got to just go in and be like, I can lose any of these characters at any moment.
So it's like anarchy, pretty much.
Pretty much. I love it. Check it out. Between is the name of the show again.
Let us know what you think about Between. Our next Netflix show is going to be Narcos. You say you haven't seen this?
No, I've seen a lot about it. A lot of people tell me to watch it, but it's another one of those shows like, I'm watching so much already.
So I watched the first season. I have the second season. I think just dropped.
Just dropped within the past week.
Yeah. So the first season is awesome. It's from my home country, Colombia. If you guys didn't know, it's about Pablo Escobar and his tirade being a drug kingpin and down in Colombia. How
Cocaine?
Cocaine, man. So it kind of shows how crazy this guy was and how really powerful this man was in not only Colombia but in the world. I mean, considering this guy, like, it's based off of his story. There is some things that are not historically accurate, which of course they had to dramatize it for the show and stuff. But I'll say like 80-90% of it is fairly accurate. He's an insane person to look up, and just thinking about how crazy he really is and how powerful this man was. But yeah, if you like stuff with another movie that's going to be a lot of drugs and violence and
seeing a pattern here.
Yeah, I mean, I like what I like. But yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, go check out Narcos. It's a good show. I'm pumped for the second season.
Of course, the thing everybody's talking about right now is Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Had such a huge hit for Netflix. Just got renewed for a second season. The kids are all over TV. They're on The Tonight Show, rapping and all sorts of stuff on the convention circuit. Luckily, these kids seem to have a good head on their shoulders, like good parents taking care of them. It doesn't seem like any of these kids are going to go off the rail.
I mean, you never know. When they first come out, they're like that. Yeah. Let's see 5 years down the line.
Yeah, we'll see. But hopefully they stick with it because these kids are great actors. I've seen it twice now.
All the seasons?
I've seen one twice.
I actually just started watching it. I only seen the first episode, so I'm Stranger Things.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
But it's great in that it's definitely a horror show. It's definitely a thriller. a lot of drama, but it does have comedy mixed in to kind of lighten the moods at times.
Yeah, if you like things from like Stephen King and
Yeah.
uh,
A lot of people were trying
anything
to
from the
compare it to
80s.
like E.T. and the
Yeah,
Goonies, but I was
yeah,
like, no, this is a lot scarier
yeah,
than E.T. or the Goonies. Like, this is not a thing for real young kids like those movies were.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it kind of evokes that nostalgia of the 80s because it's obviously set in 1983.
They call
But
it nostalgia porn.
it's not like that thing that's family friendly. Like,
Yeah,
I'd say you'd want your kid to at least be like 13-ish,
yeah.
depending on how mature your kid is. But like, it's definitely not for like 6 and 7-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean the first episode wasn't super scary, but it definitely hooks you in. At least it hooked me, and I watched the first episode, and now I just want to go binge watch it and watch all the seasons. But
When I watched the first episode, I ended up watching that and then immediately watching the second and third episode in the same night, and then I watched the rest in the next 2 days. Finished it. And then you guys know my co-hosts from the Big Damn Podcast, Jack and Scully, decided they were going to watch it, and I rewatched the entire thing again. And it was amazing the second time around, too. A great show.
Yeah, I mean if you're a big fan of that '80s type of horror thriller film, you're really gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So our next up is gonna be F is for Family.
Something very different from what we've been talking about so far. F is for Family is a animated comedy, family comedy. Well, not. I shouldn't say family.
Yeah, it's not. It's based on about a family. Yeah,
but it's not for your entire family. There's a lot of cussing.
Don't watch it with your kids.
Created by comedian Bill Burr, who's fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
Just really brings out, like, if you grew up.
It's another show based off in the 80s, like
70s, I think. It may be.
No, I think it's 80s. Yeah, I think it's early 80s, I believe.
But if you grew up like us, we grew up probably like the late 80s, early 90s when we were that young age. So like we kind of remember some of this stuff. Like the first episode, I'm not spoiling anything, but there's a whole bit about the telemarketer calling during dinner.
Yeah.
And how he's not going to answer the phone out of respect for family dinner and stuff like that. Like a lot of the jokes are like that. It's really, really funny. Sam Rockwell plays his neighbor Vic, who's like this rich playboy who's effing hysterical because he just wants to be buddies with everybody, but because he's the rich playboy, like Bill Burr's character Frank just fucking hates him.
Yeah. There's a few episodes that just dropped it hilarious. It takes like the first episode is a little bit slow, like the first like maybe 5-10 minutes, but then it picks up and it just like laugh after laugh, and it's just.
If you grew up in an age where you played outside as a kid, you will love this show.
Yeah,
it's so good. 10 episodes, I believe.
Yeah,
8 episodes or 10 episodes, something like that. But you'll watch the whole thing at once.
Yeah, it's a short series, but it definitely leaves you craving for more. I'm waiting for it for the second season.
Yeah, they also got picked up for a second season by Netflix, so they will be back, I believe, with a couple more episodes than normal. That'll be next year.
Yeah.
Because, of course, animation takes quite a while to do. Another thing coming up is Luke Cage is coming out very, very soon. Actually, I think it might actually have dropped today. Today's the 2nd as we record this.
Okay.
So it might actually be up today, if not within the next week or so. I'm really stoked. I loved his character on Jessica Jones. I'm really interested to see how they handle him on his own, if Jessica's going to appear in his show like he did in hers, or what's going to happen there.
I mean, I saw the trailer for it, and I've been watching a little bit of Jessica Jones, but I haven't really got all the way through the whole season yet. But yeah, his character is really awesome. I mean, his powers are cool, and he's just like, big and like a tank.
Badass.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for that, and this is leading off into a bunch of Marvel universe in Netflix. So this is cool.
They pretty much said they're going to do a Punisher standalone series now. Iron Fist will be coming out as well. Iron Fist, of course, is a buddy of Luke Cage, and they become the heroes for hire. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays in at all to Luke Cage as well,
Yeah.
or vice versa. Some of the images I've seen so far from Iron Fist look really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely a bit of a different take, as it does involve more magic and
Yeah.
martial arts,
Yeah.
whereas the others were kind of just more straightforward, beat the crap out of
Yeah.
people.
Strength.
So definitely a lot going on with Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel is doing some cool things, especially in Netflix. I mean, the quality of these shows in Netflix are definitely like up to par. You know, we were talking earlier about how sometimes you don't even need to have cable anymore because of all the good shows coming on Netflix and all these other, you know, streaming, you know, streaming companies and
Yeah,
stuff.
like Amazon, Hulu, and everything. Everybody's getting original content now, so really it's becoming less and less of a need to have cable.
Yeah.
Netflix is kind of leading the charge with its original content and the
Yeah.
quality of content they're
Yeah,
putting
the
out.
quality is amazing, and I think when they first started coming out with the original content wasn't that great, but they definitely are dropping money into making these shows, and they're, you know, fairly well budgeted in shows.
Well written, well directed, well shot, well acted. Like, everything they're doing right now is just perfect. And
Netflix. I tip my hat to you, sir.
You don't have a hat on.
My imaginary hat, damn it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I got imagination.
All right, so that wraps us up for today. Thank you guys for checking us out as always. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Tell your friends about us. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'll be right there at the top of your YouTube page.
And also, let us know what other shows we could watch on Netflix that we might have missed and stuff. So, yeah.
Let us know in the comments below what other shows we should be watching as well.
Yeah.
I'm Pete. Check us out at www.bigdamngeeks.com. On Facebook and Twitter, it is at Big Damn Geeks. And, of course, check out the Big Damn Podcast on iTunes.
And I'm Jean-Claude. You can check me out at jeanclauderoche.com, Facebook, Art by Jean-Claude, and Instagram, Jean-Claude Art. So,
until next time, keep that Netflix subscription current.
For that, Netflix and chill.
Netflix. Pay us, give us money.
Bye.